The announcement of Justice Breyer's retirement has sent the media and Washington officialdom into a frenzy of speculation that is going to exhaust us for a good chunk of this year. Now, within seconds of it hitting the wires, the left leapt into action, beating the drum over their preferred appointment. The mainstream media, they conveniently forget President Biden's campaign promises on COVID or unity, the economy, or rebuilding our stature in the world. But when it comes to his pledge to appoint a black woman to the Supreme Court, they're happy to cure their amnesia. First, let's talk about a few of these different issues here. First, there's speculation about appointing the first black Vice President, Kamala Harris, to the seat being vacated by Breyer. Washington Times reporter Jeff Murdoch astutely wrote a potential Harris appointment would, quote, help Mr. Biden rally black voters while simultaneously dumping her from the ticket. The Supreme Court of the United States isn't a dumping ground for failed vice presidents. In fact, no vice president has ever been nominated to the court. The only former vice president ever to sit on the high court was actually a former president, President William Howard Taft, who was also a judge in Ohio. The speculation about Harris, however, is a distraction to the much larger issues. Americans' faith in their institutions is collapsing, and what they are looking for in any government official is someone who is competent, qualified, and there for the right reasons. This is especially true when it comes to the Supreme Court. I think we've all seen that Americans will elect virtually anyone to Congress, and perhaps that is the innate beauty of the executive or the legislative branch. There are risks, of course. People from all backgrounds and experiences who wish to represent their communities, they go to Washington to presumably amplify the voices of the people back home who sent them there. I say presumably. A lot of times that doesn't happen. When it comes to Congress, though, Americans want fewer swamp creatures and they want more Mr. Smiths going to Washington. The Supreme Court, however, is different. Americans are looking for justices who are chosen for their qualifications and their positions on the issues, not because of their immutable characteristics, like race, color, sexual orientation, or religion. A race-based test that dominates the selection process harms the credibility of the court and the ultimate nominee. After all, there can be no doubt that Ms. Harris's dismal poll numbers reflect the reality that a lot of Americans feel that her race and gender were leading factors in the decision to put her just a heartbeat away from the presidency. It's discriminatory, no matter what Democrat kingmaker Congressman Jim Clyburn thinks that it is. It's arguably unconstitutional and a little more than just another ploy from Democrats to control and manipulate black Americans into thinking that the left in this country actually care about their advancement. But I have news for you. Advancing an openly discriminatory process, Biden will drive more national division as well. A black woman on the court is not going to save black lives in the inner cities. It will not address the crisis of fatherless households among black families. It will not reform failing public education systems. It will not increase economic mobility for blacks or any of the left's aggrieved slices of the American societal pie. It will not cure the disease of multi-generational government dependency within the black community. All of the problems in this nation's long marginalized black community will persist, despite the fact that between 1965 and 2021, the number of black U.S. House members increased from 5 to 57. We twice elected a black president and now have a Caribbean Indian woman as our vice president. Our nation's largest cities also have black or minority mayors. None of it has made a difference because the policies of Democrats and the policies of the left apparently haven't elevated black Americans. Of course, then there's the breathless and ridiculous calls from CNN and other left-wing outlets who believe the high court should, quote-unquote, reflect America. And of course, there's absolutely a need for diversity. However, in looking at the makeup of the court, much of that diversity is already there. You can't play the intersectionality game with the high court. It's 9 people, folks. What about the first Zoroastrian? Wouldn't that be great? Justice should be blind. And Americans should have a Supreme Court that is comprised of people they are confident are there because of exceptional qualifications, character, and the fidelity to the Constitution, not gender or skin color. You know, if Biden had real courage, he would instill greater confidence in the institution and do something that it would be a dramatic departure for American politics today: lead without racial labeling. But of course, the damage has been done with another pointless, pandering political promise.